Do you ever have the feeling like you are meant for more? I just had to share this because it came to my mind this morning. When I was a young lawyer, I was probably in my 20s and I was sitting with my friend Donna, and I had this thing inside me, and it was like this yearning. I'm meant to be helping more. I'm meant to be doing something more. I was working in court, I was working in family law. I was helping people on I guess, what seemed to me to be a superficial level. They seemed to be quite happy with the help I was giving them. But I had this thing inside me. It was just driving me every day. There's more, but there's more, there's more. And eventually I said to my friend, I want to help people more. And she's going, what do you mean? I'm going, I want to do more. I want to help them more. And she's going, what do you mean? And I said, I want to help them more. And then she looks at me and she goes, I think you should go do this course. Luckily, I didn't actually understand what the course was, but I really trusted my friend. So I grabbed this. It was a newspaper article, rang up the phone, said, I want to enroll in this course. And it was, when I got there, I walked into this room. I'll never forget this feeling. I walked into this room. It was full of people to do this course. And this lovely, warm woman walks up towards me and gives me this massive big hug. And I'm like this disassociated lawyer person, kind of like out of my body all the time to manage the sensitivity, my sensitivity. I didn't know back then, but I was, just not with it, not grounded. She gives me this hug and I'm going, what have I stepped into? Like, where the heck am I? Anyway, it turns out I was at a training to become a lifeline telephone counsellor. So stressed out lawyer, yearning for something more, become a lifeline telephone counsellor. Like, it's the perfect solution, right? Like, had I actually understood what I was doing, I don't think I would have ever gone. But the biggest thing that struck me was the dichotomy, just the difference between the world of being a lawyer and this world of being a counsellor. Like, everyone was caring and warm in the counselling world, not in the legal world at that stage. Like, all these people, like, they wanted to know, how do you feel? And I had to kind of figure out, how did I feel? Because that was all closed off. And so, and this warm hug and these warm people. And anyway, I did the training and upskilled myself. Amazing training. And I actually spent 4 years as a telephone counsellor. And during that time, I realised what it meant to help people and start to help people in a deeper way. And that's why now I've just become so passionate about the classes and the main program that I now run, which is helping to become what I call spiritual warriors in the world. So when you're yearning to make a difference and you're not quite sure how or where or why or what it all means, but you've maybe got some ideas, I take people through this step-by-step process to bring crystal clear understanding about yourself. So who are you? I didn't know back then that I was actually someone who is incredibly sensitive, empathic, spiritually connected, and that I could help other people do that. I didn't know that when I was 25 and a baby young lawyer. And I didn't know I was going to be going to India and meeting spiritual gurus and masters and being able to channel higher ascended masters and be able to do energy healing and talk to the trees and all this cool stuff I do now. And I didn't realize what a difference that makes in your life, that your life just becomes this amazing, magical adventure, joyful. And of course, the obstacles are there. Oh my God, I've been to what some people would consider hell and back in different situations in my life. Like, the worst nightmares have happened, and the spiritual connection has stayed strong. And that's what I mean by spiritual warriors, spiritual masters. You don't become disconnected from your spiritual self when times get tough. And so that's why through my program, the spiritual steps that we take, the process that I guide people through, they become that unshakable, spiritually connected and making a difference. They're making a difference in the world. And that yearning, I think, remains there, but it has an outlet, because the outlet is how you're helping to change the world. And surely now more than ever, we need our spiritual tools, right? So we have these sacred items that keep charging us up. And I have, luckily enough for me, I have many of them. I wonder if I can show you my little altar room where my secret items stay, and they get shared with everyone who comes to work with me. Oops, can we see all of this? Yeah, so this is where I take people on retreats to this beautiful temple in India. And this is the teacher who's in charge of all that. And sacred items that I have gathered that are so charged with energy that when you just, commune with them, then you start to embody that energy. So if you'd like to know more about this, I'm happy to be your guide and your teacher. And all you need to do is reach out and we can do a spiritual audit, and that will let you know where you are, what are your best next steps, and whether the pathway that I provide to people has a connection and is going to be the right one for you. Take care. I'm Chamundai, and welcome to the Chamundai channel.